Welcome to Revival Records Podcasts. I'm Peyton, one of the co-founders of Revival, as well as a singer, songwriter, and performer who has spent the last 20 years riding the roller coaster, otherwise known as the music business. And in this podcast, I speak to talented artists, producers, DJs, music moguls, songwriters, musicians, basically anyone brave enough or just crazy enough to make the business of music their mission in life. Welcome to Revival Records Podcast number 7. Now, 7 is meant to be a lucky number, and I guess it's definitely mine today because I'm sitting down with one of house music's freshest new faces. Someone who just happens to be a girl I met 10 years ago, while she was probably still a sophomore in high school. And yet upon meeting her, I knew almost instantly that I had met a kindred spirit. Brooke Alexa Perlman, aka Alexa Perl, has just released her debut single, Give Me More, which samples the 2002 hit record, Just a Little, by UK pop group Liberty X. It's a track that taps into nostalgia for a lot of us, while serving up some deep funk realness and a very dirty disco pumping beat. And early reactions to the single have been overwhelmingly positive, and it's already getting support from some of the world's biggest name DJs. But as the saying goes, there's no such thing as an overnight success. While Give Me More is Alexa Perl's first foray into music production, it's coming after several years of developing and building a name for herself in the DJ space, something that started out as a hobby but quite quickly evolved into an unforeseen career shift. And today I want to delve into the story behind this story, to discover when and where and how all of this came about. I mean, how did that sweet young ingenue from LA that I met at a friend's birthday party all those years ago come to find herself going back to back on the decks with a house music legend like Moose T in Switzerland of all places? One thing is for sure, Alexa Perl is the real deal, and she has not come to play. No, she is here to slay this house down, and she's taken all of us with her. So will you please join me in giving our guest a very warm Revival welcome wherever you are. Right now, stop what you're doing and join me in saying out loud, "Hey, Alexa!"
Here is the next event. It is in progress.
This is a moment I can honestly say I never imagined or, envisioned coming.
Yeah.
That I'd be sitting here with you doing a podcast to talk about your blossoming and developing career as a DJ.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Alexa Perl. Now, I met you as Brooke. It was a while ago. 10 years?
Almost 10 years ago.
You were
I was like
you were
16.
a girl. You were, yeah.
I was a girl.
Yeah,
I was a teen.
You were just a girl. Yeah. But you were adorable. And now you are a woman.
You sound like my mother.
Bizarre. Well, I don't have my own kids, so I guess I'm experiencing some maternal feelings.
Okay.
But it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
I know you've been working a bit with our production team because you're making some pretty killer music at the moment.
Thank you.
And you have your first actual production coming out
June 7th.
June 7th. So next week.
Yeah.
What day is that?
God, it's next Friday.
Next Friday. My God.
I know. I can't believe it.
Tell me about the production. What is it?
Well, the track is called Give Me More. The vocal is inspired by an early 2000s track from Liberty X called Just a Little, the original.
Just a little bit. Huh?
Yep.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
I lived through that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was around the time I moved to the UK, so I remember Liberty X.
Yeah. It's funny because people in the US don't know it, but I knew it.
Yeah.
Somehow. I mean, I just got my hands on it. And I've always loved it. It's never been done as a house track. And
Great idea for a house record. Yeah.
I know.
Well
and it was
done.
really such a blast to take that and turn it into this house element, this house
And
banger.
so let's scroll back a little bit, because the DJing is kind of somewhat. I mean, you've been doing it for years now, but
Yeah.
it's been a kind of a fairly new
Yeah.
and slow process. I mean, well, not that slow really. I mean, when did you start? When did you get into house music?
Oh God, it really has been part of my life since I remembered life. Like when I started walking and talking, I was also listening to house music.
But you're from Los Angeles.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't equate for me, because
Yeah.
I think no Americans they don't really know what house music is. Bizarrely,
I know.
Sorry,
yeah.
Chicago. Sorry, New York. I know a lot of people do, but I mean,
Yeah.
why is a little girl knowing house music?
My dad and aunt and, their friends. Well, actually, I think it was just my dad and my aunt. They were so into it. Like they were going to Miami. That's really where there was a lot of house music.
The Winter Music Conference.
Yeah, yeah.
Did they
At the
take
time,
you?
which was no, no. But they would go and they'd come back and just find this house music.
Wow.
And all the Head Candy records on CDs in our cars. It was all we listened to. Like your track in 2002, Higher Place, I was dancing to in my living room as like a 5 or 6 year old, which is just crazy.
That is, yeah. You told me that before, and I still can't get my head around.
I
that.
know.
So you were dancing around to a Higher Place.
Yeah.
When you were,
5.
It's 20 years old.
Yeah. I was literally born on house music. I was born a house head. And my favorite story that my dad tells is when I was in preschool and all the kids brought their favorite songs for show and tell. Everyone's bringing like Britney Spears,
of course.
And, I don't know, Natasha Bedingfield. I think she was early 2000s too. And I brought No, No, No by Dawn Penn. No, 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 you don't love me, and I know now. All the teachers are like, what is wrong with this 4-year-old bringing this house track? So it was just all I'd known.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And did you manage to convince your friends to? I mean, or did you?
It's funny.
Was it a lonely solo ride?
Well,
through
it's
childhood?
actually funny you say that because I would play like "Shined on Me," Andrea Love.
Yeah.
I remember playing that, and I had a friend come up to me like, "Oh, I loved that song you played," and I was playing it, at my parents', and I remember that standing out. Like I still remember that story to this day because she was the only one.
It was, I guess. This style was accessible to anybody
in the States
because what they could hear was something they were familiar with, that gospel-y sound.
Right.
I mean, even a lot of the Head Candy stuff was very accessible.
Right.
It wasn't like, it wasn't like playing them Carl Cox's late night, Ibiza techno sessions or,
Yeah.
But still,
yeah.
kind of, unless it was a cover of a record that they already knew, it would, it kind of would feel weird.
Yeah. And I like now really being in the DJ space and also seeing some of these songs come through on like TikTok and just in mainstream media. It's nostalgic for me, like Lola's theme and Sing It Back. Sing It Back is having its moment. It's like, I've heard it on TikTok now. Like I just.
Yeah. It blew up.
Yeah.
Something happened. I don't even know.
I feel like I think it was like a cover of it, but it's so cool. Like and every time I hear it in the States still, I'm like, oh my God, I know this song. Like this is my whole childhood. So I was so born into it. Like I was always a house girl.
And were you listening to other music as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but when it came to like what you would actually choose to put on in your bedroom, it would be a house record.
Yeah. And I mean, my parents and my brothers also loved it, so it was really easy. Like it wasn't like I was closing the door in my bedroom. My dad had this huge PC with all this stuff, and when he was not home, I would go into his office and just click through all these songs and then like plug the CDs in like in the big piece under the computer and just play all these songs and listen to them. And so we all loved it, and I think that helped, obviously. Like I don't know, just like every birthday party, every car ride, everything, like we were throwing on a lot of your stuff. Like it's just, it was all we listened to.
Well, it's funny because I'm American and I grew up in the States, but we had a very, I had no idea what house music was until I was probably the age that you started getting interested in DJing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it took me a long time to kind of fill in a lot of blanks.
Right.
I was definitely not raised on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lucky, I think, anomaly in a way that you did have that advantage, because I think house music is, it's so, there's something about it that's so joyful because it's the extension of disco, and it's just disco with better technology.
Yeah, exactly.
So in a way, to get to be a child, but actually be, to be introduced to that, just that joy that comes from dance music.
Best.
Yeah,
it was the best, and a lot of your tracks in particular, were so.
I didn't say that. You don't have to say that.
Well,
I am going to pay you later.
I was going to say, you are paying me, so no, I'm just kidding. But they were so uplifting. They were having a hard time. You listen to Celebrate, and you're just like, I want to celebrate my life and live just a little bit more. It was so.
What a great, yes, my records.
You're it was amazing.
But in a way, a lot of house music, anyway, or certain type of house music, it is uplifting.
Yeah.
It is encouraging.
Yeah.
It's kind of reassuring and inspiring. And so I think kids should be raised on that, because it's a message that actually, if it gets into your head early in life, can be quite useful later in life.
And thank God it did. It did for me. Thank God it got into my head.
Well, you're such a positive person. You're such an uplifting person. I can see it, and I've seen you DJ, and the energy that you're transmitting. You can see that you were raised on love.
Yeah.
You were raised with a certain, love and perspective on life.
Thank you.
And so anyway, so let's go back. So when did this love of the house music sort of start turning into a DJ thing for you?
I actually have such a vivid memory. I was visiting Ibiza. I was studying abroad in Barcelona, and I was visiting Ibiza with friends. And Hallelujah Anyway came on at the beach club we were at.
Candy Staten.
Mm-hmm. And it was just the the beginning. And I was like, is this Hallelujah Anyway? I just knew right away. And I had such a reaction to the song and to being there. And it was sort of the end of my, 4 or 5 months living in Spain and being abroad. I was about to come back to America. And I was like, I cannot go home without this. I have to bring all of this music with me. Because from then and all the moments leading up to then in my life, but living in Barcelona, the taxi rides and the coffee shops that were playing this house music. And I was like, people deserve to feel what I feel when I listen to this. It speaks to my soul in a way that, like you said, it's uplifting. It keeps me positive. It keeps me motivated. Thank God for it. Thank God I have house music in my life. And I always felt that people deserve to feel what I felt.
That's not so dissimilar to the story that Danny Rampling tells, because it was, it was a trip to Ibiza. Yeah. When he had this moment where, he just was like, oh my God, listening to the music. And he knew that he needed to take this back. And that's kind of how, this actually whole scene began in London. So you're following in good footsteps there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you went back and then started.
I don't know. I kind of threw it out there to a few people. Would it be crazy if I did this? And this was 2019. It's not that long ago, but
you were in school. You were.
I was still in college.
You were still in college.
Yeah, I had a year left, and I was just kind of throwing the idea out to people. Would this be crazy if I did this? Because now everybody is DJing. Everyone knows how to. Not everybody, but at least in my circle and extended circle, and even on social media, people can pick this up pretty easily. But at that time, it was still, especially as a girl, people weren't DJing. But I had a couple people just say, absolutely, you should go for this. Why not? You have nothing to lose.
Why not?
So I got a job in college at a hair salon. And I just made all this money. So I literally went on Amazon and I bought anything that looked decent. And a DJ, controller and headphones and speakers and,
so
the
you
software.
You bought your own decks.
Yeah. So I bought my own stuff. And I was just bopping around trying to find people who knew how to DJ. There was this one DJ who he DJ'd all the sorority parties. And I went knocking on his door like a weirdo. Hey.
Did he help?
Yeah, a little bit.
He did?
Yeah. So I had a couple people sprinkled in that were just giving me tips and tricks. And then I was using YouTube.
What, the mixing?
So transitioning.
Transitioning.
And, beat matching and just the the basics.
So you started learning how to do it, and then
Yeah, and I don't know. I was kind
where
of.
did you get a gig? I mean, did you?
I mean, I was kind of keeping to myself. I know.
Okay.
We had known each other by then, so
Yeah.
I know like a couple times like we would be on the phone. You used to.
Well, you did a mix for a radio show
Exactly.
I had at the time,
which was fun.
Which was fun. Yeah.
And that was like my first. That was my first public mix.
Yeah.
And then even then, like I was just doing mixes for like my birthday party and a friend and this and that.
Right.
And just recently, it was what year was it? 2022, end of December 2022. My aunt asked me if I would DJ her holiday party, and I was like, well, I've never really left my bedroom.
Yeah.
But sure, why not? Like, why would I say no if I've been doing this and I kind of know what I'm doing? I mean, I always called myself a closeted DJ. That was kind of my.
I mean, your aunt's party is going to be fun.
Yeah, and she's a good time.
Fun.
So I did it, and that was really where it started. And then I was getting more. It was starting just personal, and then it grew. And I had like a colleague who had a party, and she asked me to DJ, and then it just started to grow and grow. And at that time too, kind of in the course of that year of the holiday party, I got introduced to the whole Revival team. Yeah. And that also, I think, really.
Well, and did some amazing gigs for Revival.
Yeah. So that was where I got more gigs, and then I got into production, and I really like once I went public, in the DJ world, I was like, okay, let me line this up with production so I can legitimize this
Smart.
as a
in this
career.
day and age. It's absolutely key. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so. Was it terrifying? I mean,
yeah.
It's a big leap.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I mean, I think
you've been doing like clubs and right, like proper. I mean, I know the ones you did for Revival, like big parties. But, but even in LA and and in New York, you've been DJing in big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that absolutely like
less and less? But the first year, absolutely. I think it was because it was a big transition of me just staying in the comforts of my four walls.
Yeah.
And then when people were reaching out to me, it was still this mindset of like, okay, well, they think I'm good, but like, am I that good? You know, it was still this like battle of like, am I really good enough to be doing this? Like it's a hard, just because, I mean, for so many reasons, but like being a young girl in this space.
I was going to say being a girl in what is very much a male dominated profession, and also being in the States, where, house music isn't even really such a thing, as you said.
Yeah.
You've got quite a few things there where you're kind of, you are definitely breaking a mold, or
totally. And I think why it was a little scary was because I was just trying to like throw my hands in the air saying like, trust me, like I'm good and I'll prove it to you. And it's just hard to throw yourself into that fire when nobody knows you, nobody knows your music, and you're a girl. It's just a lot of pieces.
It's a lot of responsibility, but I guess that's how any of us grow, is by putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations where we feel exposed and vulnerable, and then have to fake it till you make it kind of thing, and I guess with DJing, I mean, I don't know, what are the crowds like there? Because, are they tough? I have this idea in my head that like, because this sort of generation, what do they call the
Gen Z or whatever,
it seems to me like everybody wants about 3 seconds of a song. They want the DJ to just basically be like a jukebox on speed, where it's kind of like, and then like 5 seconds later, change to another one, change to another. Is it like that?
It depends on the place, but yeah, I mean there are 100% gigs that people just want to hear what they know, and that was always kind of a goal when I wanted to start this. I wasn't going to try to. I mean, I was breaking the mold, but I wasn't going to be like, these are all the tracks I listen to, and this is everything that I think you'll like. It was sort of like, how can I bring what I love with what people love? Yeah. Like, that was always the goal. So I love throwing in songs that people like to sing and dance to, because I also love to be on the dance floor, and I know how that feels.
Right.
By also like then throwing in, or like sneaking in a track that is really cool and sexy.
That's
that
a little bit
they
more
may
obscure.
Think they know, or like they really would like if they knew it. So that's always the goal. But there are gigs. I had one 2 weeks ago, and people just were uninterested if they didn't know it. And like what you had just explained was that gig. It was like a minute of every song. So it just depends on the time and place.
And the whole girl thing. I mean, like, are there more and more girl DJs on the rise?
Yeah. I mean, there's a small community in LA that I've found and I follow.
Oh, yeah?
And
have you got your kind of idols or your inspirations?
I mean,
Who do you look at?
Well, this isn't LA, but one like DJ that I love that I feel like has totally broken the mold is Natasha Diggs. I think she's so cool and confident. She loves to dance. She has this really like feminine energy that I love, that I think is so interesting and engaging and makes you want to be on the dance floor. I just love that. But there are a lot of young girls in LA playing different music, but I just like seeing women in the space, even if we're playing different things.
And in a way, I mean, for you, are you bringing something, is it the music, or do you feel that the DJ has a certain, I mean, sometimes I see DJs and it's like, yeah, they're playing great music, but I'm not getting anything from them. In a way, I guess I shouldn't have to, but
I strive for that every time I show up, because I'm not just showing up to play the music. I always say, if I have my headphones on and I'm like, if I could close my eyes, I could be alone having my own dance party. And if I bring that energy of dancing, like, another gig I had, I was playing this great remix of Say My Name, Destiny's Child, that I've been playing with.
Say my name, say my name. I love that record.
And I was just having the time of my life. Like, I could have been alone. I was having so much fun. And these 3 or 4 girls were kind of in the corner, like, watching me, but also dancing. And you could tell that they were really enjoying my presence that I was bringing to the gig. Yeah. And I feel like that's huge, between that, what you play, and like the way you read the crowd and respond to what they want. Like that's like the biggest skill. I mean, you can be as technical as you want, but if you're not looking up and seeing what people are responding to.
Well, you're, whatever a performer or a DJ or, a teacher is emitting, in the process. I do also believe inevitably it's going to have a massive impact on the effect of the way it's hitting the people on the dance floor. Because if you're having fun, people are more likely to also have fun. It's like they can see that it's genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. And I
feel, really we've all been at that party where nobody's dancing, and then one person decides to get up and start. They don't care. Yeah. They get up and they're like, you know what? I'm going to and all it takes that one person, and I'm always amazed by it, because then like you just slowly see like another couple, 2 or 3 come. And then I think, oh my God, that's such a metaphor for life. Like, be the first person that gets up and starts dancing so that everybody else realizes, oh, it's okay to dance. Yeah. I totally agree. So what's your house sound? What is your, I mean, I know you used to like the whole head candy stuff, but what is it now?
I grew up on gospel, but it's this, I've actually been like terming it. I've been using this, I created this term.
Listen, go for it, because there are a million different terms in dance music.
I sort of am going for this like heavy disco. It's like this tough.
Heavy, baby.
Of course.
You got some heavy disco.
Just this like tougher disco that's not so, I don't know, it's not so like Bee Gees and,
it's got
has this like
it's got a
heavier
sort of
bass.
thickness to it. I got a pump and a bit dirty.
Totally.
Dirty disco.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe dirty's better than heavy, but heavy dirty disco. But I'm definitely going for that. Give Me More has a lot of that. And I've like found my couple inspirational DJs that I reference to sort of see if I can weave what they've all done to kind of create my own sound.
Yeah.
Obviously Purple Disco Machine is a big disco king.
He's done really well.
But then there's like Kid Cream, and there's like Junior Jack, and it kind of like they all have this splash of disco. You know, it's not too disco.
That's it's the roots, you can hear the roots are there, but they're taking it somewhere else.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's definitely the sound I'm going for, and a lot of the tracks that I've been working on have that consistency, like that really common bass. Yeah.
Okay, so people want to find you.
They can find me.
So, and it's under Alexa Perl. You'll be on Alexa.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when this first release comes out, you're going to have a Spotify page.
Yeah. Yeah, which is really cool.
That's
really
exciting.
Cool. I know you go from like SoundCloud, mixes to actually having a full profile on Spotify and Apple Music. And
oh my God.
Yeah.
So give me more out on Rhythm Nation.
Rhythm Avenue. Close, but not close enough. Rhythm Avenue.
Rhythm Avenue.
Yeah.
And on June
7th. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. I'm super
and
excited.
what about your family? Are they supportive? What about your boy? You have a boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a boyfriend.
How does he feel about his girlfriend going out into the world and being an international,
I mean,
DJ superstar? How's that?
He's fully supportive.
He is.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't grow up on house the way I did, so I'm teaching him a lot.
Okay.
And he's totally open to learning. It's definitely
good
cool.
quality in a partner.
It is. He's thriving in his own job, and I think that helps him be really supportive for me. So whenever he is in town for a gig that I have, he's always like, he comes with me to set up, and he helps me pack up at the end. Like he's right there, which is super cool. And my family, I mean, they're as into the house music as I am. So I think we're all kind of
like my parents in general. Like I think the idea of their child like taking DJing seriously generally doesn't go down that well.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine for a girl it's even worse.
Yeah. My dad's really passionate about house music. Like he loves it.
He's cool.
Yeah. It's been fun to have him in this process for us to do this together. It's
amazing.
So rare. Like I just don't think this happens. And even my brother, who's also in London this week, came down to the studio for a little, and it's just like everybody, we all grew up on it, so we all appreciate it, and it's really, I think, rare and so fun. Everyone, I think we're all trying to wrap our heads around this.
Yeah.
Me taking this out of hobby life into career with, my first release and stuff. I think it's like we're turning a corner.
Well, I think when it's the right path for somebody, the universe has a way of, not always, sometimes they make it really difficult, but like has a way of opening up the doors and clearing paths, and and clearly this is something that you're meant to be doing. What is it that you ultimately would like to achieve? I mean, as it really is. I mean, a DJ is an artist. I think there's a lot of ways to be an artist, which are not necessarily performance based, or it's the way you live your life. Even I got friends that I think of. You know what? You're an artist, and you're not even working in any kind of thing. That's but they live their life like an artist.
Yeah.
And for you, I mean, now this is a step in a more creative direction.
Yeah.
This is it's a very different role.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what is it that you'd like to achieve by doing this? Is it about just being able to travel and have fun? Is there something that you on some deeper level feel that you can contribute that perhaps this gives you the opportunity to do? And what would that be?
God, that's a hard question. I think what we were talking about earlier of being a girl in this space, I'm proud of the energy that I bring, and the what's the term I'm looking for? Just the presence that I have at a gig. I'm really proud of as a woman. Like I hope I can inspire other women to want to get in this space. I think that we need more women in this industry.
You feel like you're part of a groundbreaking kind of chapter or something.
Yeah. So I really hope to inspire other women to want to get into this industry, because it's intimidating, and I'm so grateful for my team and my support and people who believe in me, because it makes the process a lot easier. I think if I was a little bit more on my own without my peeps, it would be challenging.
I mean, okay, this is a little bit of an abstract question, but what is it a DJ is? What is that job doing for the world? What is it? Why have DJs?
DJs are the reason to me that people get to make some of their best memories. They get to walk away from a specific Saturday night out with their girlfriends, or a travel experience to Ibiza maybe for the first time, whatever it is. They're creating memories on the dance floor.
So they're like basically curators of a good time.
Absolutely.
Or curators of memories.
And most, if not all, of my best memories growing up, even now, just my favorite times in my life. I mean, this is the reason I started, is because music has played such a huge role in the way that I react to things. It like really pulls out an emotion.
Yeah.
A total feeling of nostalgia or soul, like something in my soul or it pulls this deep emotion that I'm so grateful to be able to tap into. Like, thank God I have that reaction to music. And I'd love,
I can relate to that.
As a goal, I would love to be able to create music or bring a presence that allows people to have that same emotion. Like Give Me More is a vocal of an early 2000s track, and that's immediately going to trigger nostalgia for a lot of people.
Of course.
And what a great feeling to have.
Yeah.
To hear a track that you love so much, that you grew up on, that you can just get on the dance floor and sing with your best friends or whoever it is.
Well, I can relate to that. I think music is a language that is unlike any other.
Yeah.
In that it's the only language, that totally defies all borders and cultural and religious, divisions. And, music is just, it's a vibration.
Absolutely.
And I guess, being able to manipulate and use that vibration in a way that brings something positive to people.
Yeah.
It feels, like you're potentially changing lives, in a way,
or just, if not changing, just adding joy,
and
love,
embellishing.
And inspiration. Yeah. I'd love, my day job is in the same realm of just uplifting people. I just want to uplift people. It sounds so boring.
Well, let me ask you some just like off the wall questions. So, what would be like your top house record of all time? I don't know. I know you have hundreds, but your absolute like epic house records that for you changed your life.
God damn it.
You can take a minute to think about it.
Yeah. Do I have to choose one?
No,
it's funny. The first one that came to mind, and it didn't change my life. This was like my later teen years, but I cannot get off the dance floor. Is Pasilda, and
it's really weird. I literally yesterday put Pasilda into Google. For some reason, I just wanted to hear it, and I played it yesterday. That's bizarre.
Well, and it's my favorite story as to why, because I had a video in Ibiza at a club, videotaping the room, and I loved the song. When I watched on my phone, I was like, "What is that song? I know it, and I don't know why, but I know it."
That's so strange.
Cut to 5 years later, I was in a taxi in Barcelona when I was studying abroad, and the song came on, and I was like, "Why do I know this song?" And I obviously opened Shazam, and I was like, this is the song I was looking for years. And then I stopped looking because I kind of gave up.
I love it.
And I love that song. It's come back around in my life, especially DJing.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, Pasilda. What else?
Yeah. Well, obviously, your tracks as a kid.
All of my tracks.
Well, the one that I loved as a kid was In Love With My Life. I just loved that. And I just love the lyrics of talk about soul and uplifting. Like my heart opens like heaven above. Feels like I'm falling in love with my life all over again. I'm like, oh.
I remember when I met you. You were 15 then,
16.
Right? And then it was like expect people to know a high place. Or something, and you're like, I love In Love With My Life. That's what, and I'm like, I really didn't believe you until I was then singing it.
Yeah.
And you were like in front of me singing every single lyric and right along with me, like you knew the whole record.
Yeah.
Which was a record I did with Kiri Yarkos.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I love that record too, but it was never one that people really knew.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is one cool 15-year-old. She's going for the obscure stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the first house record was Shined On Me. That was like my first. I just have vivid memories of my dad.
Shout out to Andrea Love.
Yes, we love Andrea.
Yeah, because you met Andrea Love.
Yeah. I met her as a kid too. I mean, my dad was he loved it so much that
Crazy.
we met her. So, but he would drive me through the carpool lane, and him and I would be singing that song together. I got peace deep in my soul. It's the best.
I got love making me whole. Since you've opened up your heart and shined on me.
Yeah, it's
Dun, dun.
Best.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, those were like my
Yeah.
childhood. It's different for like what
Of course.
I play.
And right
Like-
now, what would be like?
Oh my God, that's so hard.
Is there something right now that you love that you play at every gig?
Yeah, actually, there's this track. The original was just "Living My Life," Jill Scott.
Oh yeah.
Living my life
Like it's golden. Living my- I
life
love
like
that
it's
record.
golden. I love that because it's modern.
Yeah.
Like there's a modern house twist to it. Someone created, and people really respond. People are responding well to it. To me,
So
it brings
great record.
it brings like my whole initial goal of like
Yeah.
that soul. That like the
vibe.
lyrics are great. You know, it's like appreciating life, and so that always pops off. That always does well. And
Exciting,
Purple just
amazing. So where do people find you? Where do they look? Are they gonna? Is there a
yeah, Alexa Perl on Instagram.
Alexa
Perl.
Perl? Perl.
Don't forget it.
Okay, Alexa Perl.
On Instagram.
Hey Alexa,
Play
can
house
you play
music.
Alexa? Can you play house music?
Well, I have this running. I mean, I have my link tree on my Instagram, but I have my running Spotify playlist that's called Alexa Play House Music.
That's great.
So anyone can check that
So
out.
what's your link tree? Link tree Alexa Perl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Linktree.
Alexa Perl Perl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. SoundCloud too. I have a lot of mixes on
Okay.
there. So, but my song will be out June 7th. So I'll have a proper profile with my track, but I do have my own personal Spotify with all my playlists. So.
Well, thank God we have another DJ in the States who's bringing, serving up some proper house realness.
Yeah.
And also one that is generating positive energy while doing it.
Yeah.
And because I don't know about you, I think right now this world seems to need love more than ever.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't know what to say. All I know is like,
Let's just
dance.
Right? Let's just dance.
I mean, yeah, can we just dance? Can we just all get along?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just have a little boogie because life is like really short and
I know.
we're making it really complicated.
I know.
So I can't wait to be at one of your gigs. When's your next gig?
I'm playing at Roosterfish in Venice, California on June 21st.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Venice, Italy. I was like, I'm coming.
Oh, that would be fun. I'm coming back to London though, June
Okay.
28th. Playing
Amazing.
at, I think it's called German Craft Beer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You're playing in Germany?
No, in London it's called German Craft.
Craft beer.
Beer.
Oh. And is that with Moose Tea?
No,
Have you played with Moose Tea before?
yeah. I am the
Played at a
lucky
gig?
Yeah, I'm the lucky chosen person in this world that got to go back to
Like
back with
Moose Tea.
Yeah.
Like he's like the legend.
Yeah.
And you got
Yeah.
to like play back to back with
Yeah.
him at a gig.
Yeah, I mean, I think my lucky stars. I got introduced to him, and just
Yeah.
yeah,
And that you know that you know me, that's obviously like the biggest lucky star that you have. Well, Alexa Perl, I have to say it is an absolute pleasure to have you in the studios here
Thank
at
you.
Revival. I have a very good feeling that
Thank you.
things are definitely on the rise for you.
Thank you.
And I have seen you play, and I think you've got a lot to bring to the world.
Thank you.
And I'm just glad to see the universe is providing you with all the ways to make sure that you get that opportunity to shine because, baby, you are a light. We all are, but yours is shining very bright at the moment.
Thank
and
you.
Having known you for some years now, I'm very proud to see that you're just shining brighter and brighter.
Thanks.
And I'm excited for you. So,
Thank you.
yeah, check it out. Alexa Perl. Hey, Alexa, play Shine on Me. I got peace deep in my soul. I got love making me whole. Since you've opened up your heart and shined on me. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. All right, that's good. Yeah.
I can keep going.
Yeah.